Relate fractions, mixed numbers, and decimals. The question just came through from Carlos. Are fractions and decimals the same, or are they similar? They are the same. Their values are the same. Any fraction can be written as a decimal. Therefore, any decimal can be written as a fraction. Mixed numbers will work the same way, okay? But it's just all about how you incorporate the whole number, okay? So we'll take this in steps here. First part, is we're going to focus on how we get fractions and mixed numbers into decimal form as decimals. Fractions and mixed numbers as decimals. First example, 3/10. I need to convert this to a decimal. Now, anytime you have a power of 10 as your denominator, it's very easy to put them into decimal form. If I were to ask you to put 3/10 into decimal form, you would say that looks like this, 3/10. Is that not 3/10? Is that 3 in the 10th place? Yeah. Okay. Now, sometimes you can make that connection. Other times, you can't. Let's look at the same fraction and determine what it is that we have to do to find out what it is as a decimal. This bar here is often interpreted as a fraction bar that you'd use in a fraction. However, it also shows an operation. Does this bar here show addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? Carlos? No. No. Right. Division. You didn't say that. Got it right here. Now, 3/10 is this. 3 divided by 10. Say, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. You can't do that. How can you divide a smaller number by a larger number? Think back. Think back, Frank, to big boy math. What is it that we did? We put a decimal there and we carried it right up. So now, say, okay, does 10 go into 3? No. Does that mean I'm finished? 0. Does 10 go into 30? And we said 3 times. Did we still get the 0.3 that we started with? Okay. Yes, ma'am. It could. If we had this 9/100ths, how would you write 9/100ths as a decimal? How could you show 9 in the 100th place, DeKayla? 0.9 0.09. Because this is my 10th, and this is my 100th. Hundred has 2 zeros, 2 places. If you don't see that, let's set it up as a division problem. What number goes on the outside? Which number always goes on the outside, the top or the bottom? So we'll put 100 on the outside. We'll put the 9 on the inside. We'll put a decimal there and say, does 100 go into 9? Let's add a 0. Does 100 go into 90? Does 100 go into 900? Okay, so either way. Again, power of 10. Your powers of 10 are the numbers that have 1 and zeros after. So 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. Those are your powers of 10. Those are the fractions you can take a shortcut on if you need to. Unfortunately, they won't always be like that, but for today it looks like they will. Okay? But let's just, for argument's sake, just because we're here, we're doing it, let's take a look at the fraction 3 over 4. Is 4 a power of 10? No, so I can't use my trick. I'm going to set this up as a division problem. Which one always goes on the outside? The bottom one, right? So does 4 go into 3?
No.
4 go into 30?
Yes.
How many times? 7 times is 28. 2 left. Am I done?
No.
No. 4 into 20. Your decimal, 0.75. Liam.
I didn't realize it, but like 4/4 would be all, like a whole like 1.0. Then you like take off 3 would be like kind of like quarters.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, this is just like saying, okay, you have if 4 quarters make $1, you have 3 of them, it's 75 cents, right? Carlos? Sure there will. Sure there will. Repeating ones, you mean? Absolutely. How do you know? Let me ask you another question. Say you get to this point and you can't remember what number goes on the outside and which one goes on the inside. How do you know that you're doing it right or if you're doing it incorrectly? Marissa. Not necessarily. Sometimes, yes, but if we have improper fractions, then we can really be off, okay? If I were to ask you just to focus on the 3/4, does that give me a value that is greater than 1 whole? Or does it give me a value that is less than 1 whole? What does my numerator have to be if my denominator is 4? Casimir, what does my top number have to be in order for it to equal 1 whole? What? 4. If it's 4 over 4, that's 1 whole. What is that? It's a 3. So is my value going to be 1 whole or greater or less than 1 whole? Here, watch what happens if I do this the wrong way. Let's say I put the 4 on the inside and the 3 on the outside. Oh, look at there's 1.3. Does my decimal match up with the logic that I just said? Is this a value that's less than 1 whole? No, it's 1 point something. So I know I set it up wrong. That doesn't make any sense. Okay? So you can check and say, oh yeah, 3/4? Yeah, that's not one whole. I had an assignment. There were 4 total problems. I had 3 right. Did I get a 100%? Did I get the whole thing right? Oh. I got a C. That is a C. It's a 75%. Let's go back to powers of 10. $15 over 1,000. Put it into a decimal, please. Okay. 15 thousandths. Now, you may not be as familiar with your decimal places to know which one is my thousandth place again. Well, here's the trick. In my denominator, 1,000, I have 1, 2, 3 zeros. That means the thousandth place is the third place. 3 zeros, 3 places. Not 3 zeros and 3 zeros up here. 3 places. How am I going to extend this 15 so that my 5 is all the way in the thousandth place? Yes. Where? There? Good. That 15, the 5 from the 15 is in my thousandth place. Therefore, that's what I have. $18 10,000ths. How many zeros in 10,000? 4. I got to go 1, 2, 3, 4 places. My 18 only has 2 digits, right? So 2 zeros go here to get that 18 to extend all the way out. Why can't I? Why is this one wrong? Why is that wrong? How come that's not 18 10,000ths? Larissa. But I got a 0 in the 10,000th place. Essentially, what could I do to these zeros here in this one? Do I need them? No. So really, what is this? 18 hundredths. Not 18 10,000. Big difference. Big difference. Question?
Yeah, because you have
Mixed number. I need to put this into a decimal. Does my whole number 3 change? My 8 has to be in the 100th place. My 100th place is 2 places after the decimal. So my decimal here becomes 3 point.
3.08.
Yes, 3.08. There it is. Good. Do it. Why do you suppose I gave you such a big whole number? Does it change? No. Now, Faith, I've got 99 hundredths. 2 places. And it just so happens that my 99 has 2 places. That's that. Yes, ma'am. Which 0? Where? Yeah, definitely matters. Yes. Okay, first of all, this is your whole number, right? Which is not going to change. You are still focusing here. And you look at your denominator and you say it's 100. Okay? Don't look at 100 and say 3. No, zeros. Just look at the zeros. It has 2 zeros. That means it goes 2 places. I don't mind if you're working on this assignment and you say, oh, it has 2 places. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these 2, I'm going to underline 2 spots just so I know. And if your final answer on your worksheet looks like this, and you got 1,427 and 99 hundredths, I don't care that you have these there. That's fine. If that helps you get used to things, use them. Sweet. Yeah. Not right this second. I don't need it.